Hey, what's going on, working class hustlers of America and all across the globe? It's your main Horace, also known as La Machine. And as you can see, we got our special recurring guest, the lovely Miss Karen. And I ain't got to tell you, if you follow this channel, you already know. When you see her, oh, it's going to be fire. So here's the topic: what the gurus don't tell you. Guys, you already know. On this channel, we focused on beginners. Okay. And it is so important for beginners to come into this with realistic expectations. Now, you might be asking yourself, hey, La Machine, don't you sell a course? Yes. Don't you have coaching? Yes. Don't you have a leads list? Yes. So why would I be talking about all the things that are not so good? Well, because you are the priority. Over me selling things, over me getting you signed up for things, the most important thing is for you to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it would be a disservice to you. It would be a disservice for me to pump you up, talk to you about all the good things that you can do, and not have you understand the real challenges that are going to be out there, because it's going to be challenging. Listen, guys, I ain't afraid to tell you, I make my money, so I don't have to fool you, pull wool over your eyes, and kind of deceive you or not tell the whole truth. I don't have to do that. I'm making my money on Amazon and I work a full-time job. So I don't have a problem telling you the whole story. Makes me sleep good at night too. So let's jump right into it. You know what? Let's just jump right into it. Now, the first thing you're going to see me going over my notes here. And we're going to kind of go back and forth, me and Karen, because we each have our own notes that we wanted to bring to this. But this is very important. You need to be tough if you're going to do this. Now, what do I mean by that? It is not going to be easy in the beginning, okay? And I'm going to be specific. What I want to do is I want to show my screen. I want Karen and I, we're going to look over a comment that somebody just gave yesterday. Now watch this. Now you let me know. Can you see my screen, Karen?
I can see it.
Let's read this. Amazon is the most user-unfriendly platform out there with zero customer support. Send some inventory in, and a balance showing $100 in the red, though shipping was only like $30. Bunch of stuff sells with no returns. Balance adjusts lower. Half the sales are in a pending status with items showing on reserve, going on for 3 weeks now. Had a few listings for an ungated brand. They reached out asking to show them reseller authorization. I canceled those listings until that gets sorted. One of those items got sent back to me from stranded inventory. About 10 others worth well over $1,000 just gone from my account with no trace. There is not even a support number. How the hell do you sort this out with a bot that just gives you general links that don't solve anything? We'll have to wait weeks longer till pending sales settle or reject, then trace back and account for every single unit sent to them so I can figure out what disappeared and how to get it back. Ridiculous. Now, guys, this is just telling you like it TI is. Now, I can talk to you all day about the great things that happen on Amazon. And you know what? I don't have to tell you anything. My actions speak so loud, you can't hear a word I'm saying. I've been doing Amazon arbitrage since 2017. I've been teaching Amazon arbitrage since 2017. And no, I didn't wait until I was, had everything going on. I decided, no, we're going to kind of document and chronicle my journey. All right. But with that being said, back to my point, you have to be tough because it's not going to be easy. You're going to be frustrated right out of the bat because it's not difficult to understand where your money went, what's going on with the inventory. I'm going to let you chime in on this, Karen. Specifically, you and I, we've done live streams. with frustrated hustlers saying, where's my money? Why does it keep going in the negative? What is this reserve, on my account? What would you add to that?
Well, I just want to say that really was a classic post that you showed your viewers. I mean, that had a lot going on, and it was classic. It was great because there's a lot going on when you sell on Amazon. I mean, there's a lot that can go right. You certainly can make sales, and there's lots of videos talking about that, but there's lots that goes wrong. So people should really know that when things go wrong, you're not alone. It's not just you. That's the nature of the business. So I think, Horace, you were saying, you got to be tough. You got to be tough, and you got to be persistent, because they have support numbers that you can call. But oftentimes you don't get someone who's helpful. They're just reading a script, and they're trying to get you off the phone, and they send you a email response that had nothing to do with what you were asking. So you have to be persistent. It can take multiple calls, multiple emails to resolve anything. So just know that, take it in stride, because that's the way it is. Stranded inventory, I think I saw in there.
Yes.
You can have your inventory stranded for months. I've got an item in stranded inventory right now, and the last 2 times I called Amazon, they told me that the reason they were stranded because there wasn't a listing. Well, yes, there was a listing.
How did you get out there?
Right, it's out there. I picked that up. So at any rate, that's really kind of what sticks out to me. It's the need to be persistent. You just have to be persistent, because that's part of the business. And when the people are talking about the Lamborghinis and how you can, just do some things on the front end and then go ride your Lamborghini and be on the beach, I don't know how that happens, because there's every single day almost there's some kind of something going on.
And I mean, on that, before we move on to the next point, when I say be tough, when Karen says be persistent, you got to understand, hustlers, we have been where you are, and we understand you came into this to make money. And nobody says, well, before you see your money, it's going to take X amount of time. In order for your account to get out of the negative, even though you're selling things, it's going to take X amount of time. Here's the thing, guys. You don't know what you don't know. And you can ask all the questions in the world, but if you don't know the right questions to ask, you're not going to get any answers. Who comes into this saying, well, how long does it take for my account to come out of the negative? You don't even come into this expecting that as you're selling items, your balance keeps going down in a negative. You don't come into it thinking that. Why would you? So be advised, when we say be tough, when we say be persistent, what are you persisting through? You're persisting through a negative balance. So come in knowing that, okay, you will get through it. I remember you saying this a long time ago. Shoot, it might even been before COVID. I remember you telling somebody, you got to stay in this. Your balance will eventually come up. The reserve that has been placed on your account will begin to lessen. But that's important, because that is one of the biggest frustrating things out there. You selling all this product, and the more successful you are, the deeper in the negative you go. That makes no sense.
Yeah. Here's another, just a quick observation related to that. Now, when you first get started, it's just going to take some time. I don't think we can say. It all depends on how much merchandise you're selling and what you've got and so forth. But let's just say it's finally, funds are finally flowing on some level. right? So every maybe 2 weeks you have a distribution, or some people have the option and choose to take their payouts more regularly. But let's just say for the standard 2 week. What I finally figured out, I was been in this for quite a while before I figured out. So after I get a distribution, immediately there's another dollar amount that says my next payout is going to be in 2 weeks, and it's going to be, let's just say $4,000. It's going to be $4,000 in 2 weeks. That's a totally random number, but $4,000 in 2 weeks. Now, for the first week after, as I'm making sales, that number increases. So by the end of the week, let's just say it's been a really good week and I'm at, I don't know, let's just call it 10,000 for laughs and giggles. That's not true, but let's just say it says 10,000 for laughs and giggles. At the end of the first week. Starting that second week, every sale results in deductions from that $10,000. So if I sell some of my big ticket items, I'm feeling great. I'm just killing the game, right?
Right.
Next thing I know, by the time I get to the end of the 2 weeks, I have about $2,300 coming.
Next thing you know. I love that phrase. Next thing I know.
Next thing I know. Now, I feel like I've been killing the game. My sales have been going gangbusters.
Right.
But what happens is in that second week, every sale I make, there's a deduction for that. And I guess the reason is because every time you make a sale, they're adding 7 days or some number of days past the delivery date before they release your funds. So that's just so I kind of know as I'm going along, sort of what it looks like. I always hope, oh, please let me have my heavy, high sales on the first week and taper off in the second, but that's not the way it goes.
So yeah, thank you for that, because over time you do get to know it. We do have a video out there about negative balances, so check that out if you want to get more into that. And we encourage you, on this channel, we're family. If you have anything of value to add in regard to any of the topics we're going to talk about today, please, we implore you to leave comments. Help someone else out here. Karen, did you want to take one of your comments?
Sure.
Okay.
I think it's always good to start with the end in mind. When you're entering new ventures, it's good to start with the end in mind. And one end that you got to keep in mind with Amazon is that sooner or later, you're going to get called on the carpet about the authenticity of your products. You're going to have to show proof that you came across or you came to own these products legitimately. So with that in mind, and you never know when it's going to happen, you could have been selling the same thing for weeks and months, no problem. Then all of a sudden, there's a claim and you have to show proof. So with that in mind, it's really, and they never ever talk about the back end business. Horace, you always show us, the numbers, the reality between, what you sell and what you actually get as income yourself. But there's some business practices that you might as well put in place from the very beginning. Even if you're selling a few books, no matter what, get yourself organized. Some people scan all of their receipts and invoices. I'm not that fancy, quite honestly. Every month, I collect all my receipts for every month in a manila envelope, label the envelope, close it up, and put it away for that day when Amazon says, we want you to show proof. We need your receipts from July of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know
a
what
very
happens.
good point. And just to be clear, guys, they're not asking you, hey, are you ungated? Show proof that you can sell this item. They're talking about the authenticity. You sold some name brand, somebody's claiming, hey, this is fake. This is, counterfeit. And Amazon will accept a receipt from a store that shows you bought it from an authorized distributor. So
there can be multiple reasons for needing the receipts. It could be a counterfeit claim. It could be that I know one of the videos that we talked about or we did together was with Seller Bench, and they help reclaim missing items. But let's just say you send a shipment in and either you discover or you have a service discover that Amazon is not hasn't registered that you have those items in the warehouse. So you want to get be reimbursed for those. Well, they're not, you can't just say, you know what, I sent this box that had XYZ in it, and so you need to pay up. No, you have to show or submit receipts or invoices for the number of items that you're saying, for the specific items and the specific numbers that you're claiming.
As proof
so that could
purchase.
happen. That's right.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, I got one. I'm gonna just put it out there, and then I'm gonna let you really dissect it, because you can be much more diplomatic than me. You have a nurturing disposition.
Just come on with it. Come on with it.
People gonna get over on you. Okay.
Oh.
Customers are going to take advantage. Customers study. They study Amazon and learn what they can get away with and what they cannot. Every customer is not honest. Now, let me just tell you, the majority of the customers out there are honest. But you do this long enough, you're going to run into some people that are clearly trying to get over on you. It will be crystal clear. And it's going to be frustrating because 9 times out of 10, Amazon's going to side with the customer because that's where they're making their money. They got you. Merchants come a dime a dozen. They was doing this before you. What they want is that customer to continue with their Prime memberships, to continue buying, to continue with the reviews that are positive on customer service. And Amazon ain't got no problem giving that customer everything they want to keep them happy on your back. So, like I said, the majority of customers are honest, but all it takes is the one that gets right under your skin, the one that is, getting over on you. I had a customer, guys, I sell a lot of grocery and gourmet, specifically snack food. I had a customer say, hey, I don't want to pay this much for these chips. Now, you're a scammer, this and that. I said, I tell you what, first she said, you know what, I just remember a bit of it. First she said, hey, I ordered a smaller size. You gave me a bigger size. Now follow me, guys. I ordered a smaller size. You gave me a bigger size. So I'm not happy with this purchase. So now I'm processing this. You got more than what you thought you paid for, and you got a problem with it. So I asked her, well, according to what you thought you were getting, you got X amount more, and you're unhappy. Then she says she thinks about it because she's on a mission. She goes, well, these are about to expire. I'm not gonna pay this much for something that's gonna expire. Now, mind you, guys, I can tell you right now, you have your own personality, I have mine, and that's going to shine through with the way you deal with customer service. I tend to have a very passive disposition. I'm in this long enough. I know I'm going to lose, and I like to to sprinkle a little something in there. I'm going to give the customer what they want in most cases, but I will sprinkle something on there just to be, just to be me. So I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. How about you take all 4 bags for free? And with the expiration date you told me that's on there, you got a whole month to eat 4 bags of chips. Would that be fair enough for you? She said, thanks.
End of discussion.
End of the discussion. So, just understand, you will get the occasional customer that's just clearly trying to get over on you. Know that going in. That's just part of business. What would you
And let
add?
me say, it will hurt, or it hurt me, because my merchandise is personal to me.
Mm-hmm.
Every item that I procured for sale, it's personal. I expect it to turn a profit for me, which, by the way, another point, everything won't.
Ha ha ha. Let's go right into it. Tell us.
Segue. Everything won't. No matter how much research you do in advance, no matter what list you use, no matter what, everything won't sell. And so everything won't sell, and you're going to give up some refunds. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about how it is for you, Horace, but it's kind of painful for me, or it was in the beginning. Now I'm just learning to just take it in stride. It's okay, because you got to have a long view. You can't in the business have sort of a micro kind of view. Yes, the individual products that we procure, we're dealing with those on an individual kind of micro level, but in reality, the business consists of all, 50, 100, 500, 2,000, 5,000 ASINs that we have. And so you just have to look at the long view and understand that that's just the way it goes. It's not personal. It's not about you. They don't know. The customers don't even really know that, it's just you. So take it in stride. It happens to everybody.
Thank you for that comment. I wasn't even thinking about that, but it's so important. Guys, if you follow this channel, I tend to rant and rave and hoop and holler. And Karen just got me started. So let me take over for a minute. Okay, this is so important. This is important. So listen, because when you're looking at that new software that claims to help you find products, it never says this product helps you source products, and some of those will not sell. It never says we're going to help you find products with this software. It's going to do all the work for you. It'll do this, it'll do that. And you will take a loss on some of the products. It never says that. The guy that's selling you the course, hey, this course teaches you how to sell on Amazon, teaches you how to source, teaches you how to do this, do that, and you're going to take losses. They never say that when they sell the course. The coaching, you're going to learn from me. I'm going to teach you. This coaching teaches this, that. And when we're done, you're going to take some losses. It never says that. Why? Why does it never say that? It needs to say that. So I'm going to say it. Because if you can't deal with a loss, you don't need to be selling on Amazon. You probably don't need to be selling anything. You don't need to be in business. What you need to do is keep that job or go find one. And guess what? That job you got, the employment, that business that you're working for, they're taking losses. Every business doesn't make money on everything that they sell. You're selling on Amazon. When's the last time you did some research to see how much Amazon loses? Amazon loses money. Every idea, every venture that Amazon gets on, they don't always make money. Understand how business works. You got your wins, you got your losses. You put them together, it all comes out in the wash. And your hope is that when it comes out in the wash, you got more wins than losses. If you can't deal with that, then you can keep it pushing, because there's plenty of people that are going to tell you everything that you want to hear. Then you can get mad when it doesn't work out the way you want. Then you can say, it don't work, this don't work. But let me give you some advice. When you're saying it don't work, this crap don't work, make sure you're looking straight into a mirror. When you say it don't work, this crap don't work, because you don't. If you can't persist, if you can't deal with the way business works, then this isn't for you. And I'm not here to try and convince you otherwise. I'm just here to tell you how it is. Can it work? Absolutely. And that's obvious enough. You're talking to two people right now that take losses, but yet we continue to do Amazon. Why? Because we've learned how to get more wins than losses. Rant over.
Well, and so that goes into at least what would be for me a final point about what they don't tell you is that you're going to always be, if you want to be successful in this business, you're probably always going to be learning continuously. The learning curve is steep to start the business. Truthfully, I think it's pretty steep, certainly in contrast to other platforms. I'll put it that way, compared to, Mercari or eBay. Pretty much you get items, you put them for sale, people buy, that's it, for the most part. But with Amazon, there's a lot that Amazon presents to you that you have to learn to deal with. But then beyond that, there's just always something more that you really do need to learn. And the more you learn, that's how you learn to minimize your losses, because you learn from others. Make sure not only that you read the title of the listing, but go down into the bullet points and see if it really is a 3-pack when there would have been no indication of that in the title. I mean, that's how you learn. So if you are in this business and you just want to get in, make your money and get out, I would say Amazon might not be the platform for you. This might not be the business for you, but certainly Amazon isn't the platform, because there's just so much to know. There's no course that's gonna take you through everything.
That's what I'm talking about.
Not possible.
No course. When you're reading the perspective of this course and you're listening to this guru talk to you and they tell you you're going to learn everything, they never finish the sentence. He got to do his spiel. He got to do his pitch. And when he's done, he has to say, and after you're done with this $1,000 course, you still got to learn, because you never stop learning.
$1,000 course. I spoke to someone, people are out there paying $3,000, $5,000 for courses. I spoke to someone who said they were considering almost a $5,000 course. And I said, well, now what are you going to get for that? And so they were going to get the course and they were going to get all these things set up and, recommended products and so forth, and support for all of 6 months. I said, well, all right. So then when the 6 months is over, how are you going to manage? Because you said they're going to set up everything and do all these things for you. And then when they're gone, what's going to happen after that? You won't know. You won't know what to do. And so everything could potentially tank. So there's no shortcuts. The shortcut isn't the way.
Right.
Just go ahead and grind it and learn. And
exactly. And on that note, it really helps if you have someone that's a little bit further ahead than you that's willing to talk to you, not charge you nothing, just you can call or text. Jim, put that on the screen for us. Text the words working class hustler to the number you see on your screen. If you just have a question before you get started or once you get going, I don't have a problem with that. I make myself available because I'm just doing what I was put here to do. Now, moving on to another one. I can't wait to hear what you say about this, Karen. You will get kicked off of listings. Let me say this. Let me say this again.
Yes.
You will, not you might, not maybe, you will get kicked off of some listings. And let me really paint the picture. I'm talking about a listing where you're making money. Oh, baby, when you start making money, there's no feeling like it in the world, because it's almost like you're spending money from straw. And then you get a tap on the shoulder and you look behind you and it's Amazon. And they say, hey, all that great inventory you got that's sitting in our warehouse, oh, you can't find it? It's stranded. Now you get to figure out why, and you get to go through the runaround and have fun, because now you're not making money while you're doing all that. Now you can get kicked off for different reasons. Maybe you get a tap on the shoulder, and when you look around, it's the actual intellectual property owner, and they say, we don't know you and we don't want you on this product. Maybe you get a tap, you look behind you, and it's a scammer telling you get off the listing, because they're just trying to get all the lion's share of the sales for themselves. Maybe there's times you get kicked off for reasons we may never understand, but just know you will get kicked off of listings, and you deserve to expect that. You need that realism about this. That is one that will frustrate you. Karen, what can you say about that? You will get kicked off of listings.
I'm so glad you remembered to bring that one up, because just because you sold it yesterday doesn't mean you're going to be able to sell it tomorrow. So Amazon is not a place where you can get too comfortable with any product. Don't get too comfortable. I mean, we talk about, if people have been watching and listening, we talk about replenishables being kind of the core of business. And I very much agree with that. But even with your replenishables, meaning items that you can buy over and over again, and they have regular sales, your replenishable mix ends up having to change, because for one reason or another, either you get kicked off a listing for any of the reasons that Horace mentioned, or the price tanks so low that it's not worth selling anymore, at least for a period of time. So don't get too comfortable, and we can't go in too deep. I mean, on those video infomercial kind of things that we see when we're watching YouTubes, you know, when we select what we want to watch, before we get to what we want to watch, we have to watch an infomercial for a number of seconds. And, you know, they make it sound like, you know, you're going to buy 5,000 widgets and send them in, and they're going to be selling like hotcakes from now until you'll just be at the beach watching, you know, your app go cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. And, you know, that might happen for 100, 200, 300, and 302. They might take, like Horace said, all of a sudden the rest of your inventory gets stranded. In the meantime, 5 other people come on the listing, and by the time you get your merchandise unstranded, you're number 48. So there's just all kinds of things that happen. So just know it. I mean, it's a great business. I mean, I really love it. I wouldn't trade anything for my journey, but it is a journey, and there are discouraging days, and as well as big highs. I mean, you can have some big highs with this, but there is an underside, and I think we just really want people to know that you're not alone. It just happens to everybody. It's normal, expected. I think, Horace, you often talk about just manage your expectations, and you'll be realistic.
Okay. And if you come in with realistic expectations, you're not going to feel like you're blindsided with this. You're not going to be saying, hey, what is this? Nope. You're going to be saying, Amazon stranded my inventory. Yep, I heard about that. You know, oh, wait, my money's going down. I heard about that. And so you can think clearly, and with clear thoughts, you can start actually working and using your mind to figure out how to deal with this. Did you have another one? Because you sort of piggybacked on mine. Did you have another one you want to add?
I think I'm good.
Well, I ain't done yet. So
all right, keep going. Keep going.
Let's see. Maybe if I put my glasses, I thought I had another one.
I was sitting here just thinking about, when people scam you. Man, I think I might have talked about this before, but I had an item returned, and when it was returned, exterior, it looked perfect. It looked like, oh, okay, all I need to do is relabel this and send it back into the warehouse. And something said, something said, and it should always say, inspect very carefully. If ever you're going to send anything anytime you're sending anything into the warehouse or sending anything to a customer, period, you really need to inspect things very carefully. But in this particular case, it looked new, like it was just fine, like the person just changed their mind. And inside, there was a crock pot, I believe it was, that had been used since 1962. I mean, it must have been it looked like it was the first crock pot that rolled off the assembly line, because that thing was burned inside and out. It was there is no way.
And what you gonna do?
And there was nothing that I could do. I mean, by that time, so Amazon's policy is basically refund first, ask questions later to customers.
It's easy because they're doing that on your back.
Right. So look, the customer already got a refund. Mm-hmm. So what are we going to say? Excuse me, it's not going to happen. And Amazon doesn't make it easy for you. I think you can do something called a safety claim. You can file a claim saying, hey, the merchandise that I received wasn't the merchandise that I sent to the customer. But yeah, that's going to take a considerable amount of time and back and forth. And you got to take pictures of the items and the packages, and I take an L on those.
Just sometimes
let it go. Write it off as a business loss.
I got one.
What
you're gonna love.
What you got?
Because pay attention, hustlers, because we already know what you're thinking. You're thinking the same thing that we thought. Oh my, there are so many nice tools that we can use. Charts, graphs, keeper charts. There's so much that we can use to evaluate. Guys, you've heard me say it a million times. The key to success is understanding how to evaluate products. How do you look at a product and make the decision on whether it's worth attempting to sell this product? What are the odds that you're going to be able to sell it and at a profit? But here's what you got to remember. Amazon is very dynamic. Things change. Now let's get into this, so pay attention. From the time you source that product, you did all your research and everything was good. Okay? Well, and I'm using an example with online arbitrage, but this could go for retail as well. But in the case of online, you're looking at this product, everything looks good. Now you got to order it. This is arbitrage. This ain't wholesale. So they're not going to send it right to the warehouses for you. You got to get it in. You got to prep it. You got to send it out. Do you realize things could change by the time your products get to you? Things could have changed. Maybe at the time you were sourcing the product, you doing your research, you were able to sell it. By the time it came to you, you go to try and list, you go to try and list it and pack it, and you get this message, you can't sell this. The price may have changed. From the time you were sourcing it, there was only 2 people. And we love to live in this world where we think we're the only ones doing this. So then we wonder, well, by the time I got them, why is it now 15 people selling it? They're already in a war. Before you even listed it, they're already in a war, done tanked the price. Now, what are you going to do? Now, what are you going to do? Okay. Situations change from the time you're doing your evaluations to the time you actually get the product. Okay. Understand that going in so that you're not frustrated when all of a sudden, well, there was no safety issue with this. This wasn't hazmat when I sourced it. Why is it now? You know what I mean? Things are going to change. What would you add to that, Karen?
Well, I was just going to ask, now you added a couple of circumstances. Now, when you sent it in, everything was fine, but by the, when you first saw it, when you sourced it, everything was fine. But by the time you sent it in and got to the warehouse, it was stranded because now it's hazmat all of a sudden. So what are you going to do? You don't have any choice but to probably bring it back in that case. But let's say you source the product, the price was, $50. By the time you send it in, for whatever reason, the price is now $20. Mm-hmm. And you paid $19.99. So what can you do, Horace? What are some options when that?
Okay. The easiest one is obviously just return it. Most of the times, that's not an issue. Okay. Another thing is to have other platforms where you can move the product. I sell on Walmart. Some people have eBay accounts, Mercari, whatever it might be. So those are two things. Here's one that a lot of people don't think about, but I will actually do quite often. By the time I get the products, I'm getting ready to send it in, and I use Inventory Lab. Inventory Lab forces you to see whether you're making a profit or a loss. At the moment, you're packing it. And now all of a sudden you're taking a loss. I might look at the keeper chart and say, okay, this is what it averages at. I can see there's 5 fools trying to fight over this. I'm just going to hold on to it. I know eventually it'll come back, and I don't have a problem with that. Now I got some inventory, and I know for sure come Q4, I could definitely get probably more than what I wanted to get today. Now you have to be built for that. If you need your money and you're really needing to turn inventory, that's not an option you could afford to take, but that is one that I would do sometimes. So what would you add to that, or did you have anything?
No, I think that's it. I mean, that's what you can do. That's it. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this. And you know what? I want you to go back. If you didn't watch the last video that Karen and I did together, you missed out. And let me tell you, what I mean is you missed out on money. If you're selling on Amazon, you're losing money. I guarantee you, and Karen can attest to this. I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you've been doing this. Amazon is not perfect. Imperfections with Amazon cost you money. That's just the bottom line. What if there was a software that cost you nothing unless they could help you to recover some of that lost money that you didn't even know you lost? Pros, they can do this much, much better than you. We did a video. It's titled Amazon Owes You Money. Check that out. And also check out the resources down in the description. And we will see you guys. And again, if you have anything to add, you better leave a comment so that we can all learn and we can all sort of have some discourse over it. So
touch base with Horace. I mean, it's a real thing. You can do it. I mean, he offers it. Take advantage of it.
I think that's how me and you got started.
That's exactly how. Right.
All right, guys, we'll see you in the next video.